I got money on my bees, cause I'm getting all these honeys. I got money. Money is the virus, cause these niggas acting buggy. I got money on my.
Welcome everybody to the Genuine Content Podcast with your hosts Jay and Josh. Jay, we're back for another episode, man. How you been? What's going on?
Man, I'm tired is what it is, man. I went to the Drake concert last night, so I ain't come home till like late, and then my body's so adjusted to like waking up early. So even on my day off, I woke up, I was like, man, you got to be kidding me, man. Like my body just wouldn't even let me go back to sleep.
Hurting.
And then I was like, oh man, I'm like, oh, we're gonna record soon, and it's like, okay, now I'm kind of feeling tired. Like a nap could be, sounds wonderful, but if my body would just let me have, sleep in the morning instead of waking up at 8 o'clock, if I would woke up at 10, this would have been better. But man, it's all good. It's all good with me, man. What about you?
Man, it's been a busy season. The start of fall just started kind of like this chain reaction of just so many different things kind of going on. Good things, but just a lot of change, a lot of movement. But I'm good. I mean, I didn't have a Drake concert to kind of fall back on. Like, that's a move, man. And you've been to a few different shows, right? Like, how did this one stack up?
So this is my third Drake concert. First one, the first one was the Club Paradise tour. That was in college.
Okay.
That was the Take Care.
I wish I could have
mostly Take Care. You didn't? Oh yeah, I was gonna say you went to that one. I forgot. Fraternity stuff. Yeah, that was a concert. And the fact that I paid like $10 for that ticket is crazy. They were like dirt cheap.
Yeah,
that was good. That was Drake really coming to his own.
And that was Drake, Cole, and Wale. Same time?
No, that was
that one?
That was A$AP Rocky was the opening act, then Kendrick, then Drake.
That
was an insane concert.
What?
No, the one you was talking about is the one that happened during Black History Month, where it was B.O.B. was the headliner, which we didn't care. Wale was the opening act, and then J. Cole.
Okay, yeah.
Like, I remember for that one, it was like, oh, after J. Cole performed, it was like, okay, it's B.O.B. time. Everybody, all right, let's ride.
Damn, I would have actually stayed for that part, but I missed that one too. So I had 2 L's.
But the Drake one was like, yeah. So that one was really good. That was him coming to his own. I think that's when Drake finally like hit stardom with Take Care. And there was people that was older than us who saw Drake in 2008. So the Club Paradise tour was 2011, and on 2008 he came to Florida again, and I think that was during his mixtape days, and they say he sucked. Ooh. But it's different. So then Take Care, they said it was an improvement. I thought it was pretty good, but he wasn't a performer yet.
Okay.
Then the second
he had to get right a little bit.
Yeah, and then his songs weren't like that hyped at the time. Like that was Drake as a different artist.
Yeah.
And then the second one I went to was him and the Migos. That was an insane concert. This is Drake already.
Yeah.
This is Drake. What album was this?
Shoot. Was it Scorpion?
It was either probably around that time or. Yeah, it was Scorpion.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
Because I just moved here to where I'm at now, so that's when Scorpion came out. Yeah. So, and this was Migos. They dropped Culture 2. So, this is like Migos to me at like their highest moment where like they were dropping nothing but bangers.
Migos. Yep.
This is Drake where, Drake is doing some, what made him big, the little slower songs, the reflection songs. But now he's grown into like he can make these hype party songs. And it was I was crazy because the Migos brought a lot of energy. Minus Takeoff, rest in peace, but he can't perform.
Yeah, that was
can't perform, but
that was an interesting one. I remember that part. It just seemed like everything, like just like the buzz was like shot when it was his time to like spit his verses or whenever he had the hooks.
He was like this the whole time. Performing.
Yeah, he was kind of slouching, just kind of lackadaisical with it.
Like Quavo and Offset, they can perform.
Yeah, they had energy. So, he was probably faded. So he was just kind of lackluster. Yeah. That's what I say.
So that concert was really, really good. And in this one, I really liked it. And then now that I had some time to reflect on it, it's not as good as the Migos one for the simple fact that I mean I knew what's her name, Big Red, Big Sexy. I don't even know her.
Oh, Sexy Red.
Sexy, yeah, whatever. I know
She
she was the
opened?
opening act. That's what I heard. When we heard that was a possibility, we chose not to go early.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
we pre-gamed and everything. So and there was no like second act. It was like that was her and then straight to Drake. And then the concert was broken down to 4 parts. I would say it's broken down to 4 parts.
Okay.
The first part is older Drake, and when I mean older Drake, it was. I mean, he was playing his older stuff, but like he wasn't playing "Thank Me Later," "Take Care," or nothing was the same. It was like I think from after nothing
So like
was the same.
Views.
Views. If you're reading this, is too late.
Oh, dang!
like
It's that far back. I mean,
so
it's not. It's not that far
it's
back.
not that far back, but like I guess his audience is a little bit younger now.
Yeah, they wouldn't
So
even know all that.
So he's like, oh, you know, what my day one's at, and I'm thinking like, remember for the Drake Migos concert, he was playing So Far Gone. So I'm like,
Hell
those were
yeah.
the real day ones. So I'm like, oh, he's gonna at least play like one of those, nothing. So I'm like, okay, well, that's cool. Then the second phase of the concert was honestly never mind. That is not my jam, not
That's
my
not your
vibe.
speed. But I
So
know
was
it
like,
slapped.
you know what? I was like, you know, I got to leak. This is the perfect time for me to leak. And you know, if you want
Listen to
to
good
re-up on
stuff.
something. So it was like a lot of that and a lot of like his more, you know, like One Dance and like anything like that. Like I
Okay.
wish he would have played something like Blim. Like he didn't even play Controller. I thought it was a missed opportunity with Controller.
Yeah. So there was no passion fruit at all. Dang.
He did play Passion Fruit. That was a good one.
Okay.
That's how,
Yeah.
he
I was about to say.
He played that, and that's how it transitioned to like a lot of the honestly never mind. So
Okay.
that's true. The actual like visuals and all that was really good for it. Yeah, but like that album is just not me, so I didn't care for it at all, and that's probably why I jot the grade a little bit. Then the third act was 21. So now like you know the whole thing is this is a Drake concert, but they didn't really market it too much as is like Drake and 21.
Yeah.
So 21 has his own segment. I don't really know
okay.
that many 21 songs. Like I know some, but he played like if you're a fan, this is like he was playing that, which is
People
cool.
were probably going off too.
Yo, they were going off. He can't perform.
Oh no!
Like he's one of those. I'm rapping and I'm going on this corner. I'm rapping and going to this corner. Rapping going to this corner. Like it was like there was no energy. Like that like I was telling everyone, I was like, oh, he reminded me of Takeoff. Like he just doesn't know how to perform yet.
Yeah,
then the last act,
that stage presence.
The last act is Her Loss. If you like Her Loss, then this was a vibe.
Okay.
And like,
but then that means it's both of them, right? Because Drake is like big energy, usually like running up and down and stuff.
Exactly. So for that one, it was they were kind of feeding off each other. It was like, oh, Drake versus 21 when they were performing, and there was a difference of energy.
Yeah.
It was so. Overall, it was good. It was like a good 8 out of 10. But like, I don't know. Like for me, especially because it's really cool. Because when I think of like It's a Blur, that's the name of the tour. I'm thinking this is like a true reflection of your career.
Yeah.
And like I really think you're gonna play like all of your greatest hits. And the concert starts with a hologram of young Drake. I guess it started with "Look What You Done," like him reading a diary of what he's telling his mom or like telling like past girlfriends of me, you know, him leading up to who he is now. So I'm like, okay, this is really like it really is gonna be a blur of like you're gonna play your greatest stuff, and he like you know missed the mark. Like he missed the mark. Like you could have played Best I Ever Had. Like, you know, I don't care for that song too much, but you could have played that. You know, you could have, I don't know, like some Thank Me Later.
True.
He did play one Thank Me Later song, actually. He played Over, but that was it.
That's the only one, though?
Only one. Like, that was the oldest song he played, now that I think about it.
Dang, that's not even his most popular one. Like, why didn't he play, like, Find Your Love or something like that?
Again, to me, it's like, you know, it's kind of a miss. Like for it being It's a Blur. Like I would have like it was like yo, like I'm playing everything, or I'm playing 1 or 2 songs for all of my projects.
Sounds like the set was a little off. That's all.
And for him, you know, it was mainly it's an opening act and it's Drake, but performance wise, he was really good.
Gotcha.
It was good. It was worth the money. It was worth it. Drake knows his audience, and he basically he knows his audience now. Like it's kind of transitioning from us.
Gotcha.
So
Well, I mean, shoot, we could have a whole episode talking about Drake, but we've got other topics to get to. But first and foremost, y'all already know what it is. Like, this is genuine content spelled with a K. You can follow us on all social media platforms at genuine_content. We are on Instagram, of course. We're on X, low key, but
X.
we don't we don't tap into that one too much with the change and everything. We're also on Facebook,
They're gonna
Genuine
charge
Content
you now.
Podcast.
Everybody leaving X.
Yeah, nah. Goodbye. But yeah, check us out for any updates. We do our best to kind of keep everybody informed as far as what's going on in our lives and what we're doing as far as recordings and things of that nature. So, definitely follow us, like, subscribe, leave reviews, especially, you can find our podcast on all your major social or your major streaming platforms like Apple, Spotify, YouTube for the video pod, of course, all the other ones, you name it, we're on it. Help us out with the algorithm, so to speak. These likes are a big deal. Reviews, 5 stars, or any feedback you got, let us know. If you have any takes from any of our episodes at all, shoot them on Instagram, shoot us a DM, we'll get to them. We'll talk about them.
So yeah, I mean, I guess it's a good time to give us some life updates because, we do apologize for it was a hiatus that, man, like, like they always say, man, it's the like for like anyone who's like religious, right? Like if you want to like well, how does saying go? If you you want to make God laugh, then have a plan, like, or create a like.
Oh, I know what you're
have it
talking
planned.
about. I don't know the exact language.
I know the exact saying, but like if you have it planned out, he can always like rip it apart. Like then nothing goes as planned. And man, like this like month where the baby and work, at least for me, like work has been picked up a lot and a lot of learning in regards to like my position at work. So with that and then the baby, and it's like, man, I'm just so tired. And I had some travels. Like I've been to Chicago. I went to Atlanta. So I was like, man, like so much happened, at least on my end. That but I guess we just learned to adjust, and now things finally kind of slowed down, at least for me. So it's like we can finally get back to what we were doing.
Yeah, I feel like I kind of have like a brief window where things are kind of chill, and then they'll probably ramp back up again. But end of summer was absolutely crazy work wise. Had some big projects kind of going on at that time, but I ended up actually transitioning out, and so like just this week was actually my final week at my job, and now I'm transitioning to another one in between. So I start that mid-October. Something great for me, just needed to do it, kind of take that next step professionally. But I reached a point where like I work in research and I just did not agree with it. It just wasn't working for me, and my body was taking a toll. I would say my mental health was taking a toll because I was kind of like at odds with it a lot. And so I focused a lot of energy on like just getting myself right and then finding out like what's that next step for me. And so manifested that, and shout out to my significant other for her inspiration there. We'll kind of talk about that too. She's actually started her own practice. I think we brought that up last episode.
We did bring that. We bring that up.
Yeah, and so that's been going well. And we've been traveling as well. Like we were in Atlanta the same time you were. We've been to Orlando just recently.
Oh yeah, we went to Orlando too. That's another trip we did.
Yeah, so we've just been on the go a lot. Obviously, like some good change, good energy now, and now we're back to podding finally after what seemingly was forever ago.
And it's funny because again, this is how it all life planned out. Like we actually had this concept of this episode. We was gonna record this prior to going to Atlanta. We both went to Atlanta and we were gonna do it. And I remember it's like you had a lot going on right before. It's like, oh, we can do it after. Then I had a lot after going on, and then it was like I went to Atlanta, had a week brief break. Boom, I went to Chicago. Then I had another brief break. Then boom, I'm in Orlando. It was like it was back to back to back. I was like, oh my God. And we wanted to do this episode because of when we went for a wedding, which is kind of what this topic is going to be for today. So man, just life, right? Just but with work too, man. Work is really getting to me. Like we got to do like our projects and stuff, and it really didn't hit me until like my supervisor had to talk to me that like I probably needed a little bit more help at work because I really try to like pick it up. So like imagine you start a new position, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then you do it for 2 months, and then boom, you take a 3 month hiatus. And
Mm.
then you come back into the position you're trying to like, all right, I'm just kind of pick it up, and you're trying to pick it up, and it's like, yeah, it was a lot. And then like I kind of run a program, and then my program is not as not working as intended due to
Uh,
staffing reasons.
I get you. Yeah.
So like for that, I'm kind of more in a supervisory role, and it's like now I have a little bit more respect for supervisors because it's like, man, like how do you manage like personalities that don't want to be managed? It's kind
Mm.
of what I'm dealing with.
Funny. There was a term I heard actually like closer to my tenure being over and my resignation. It was called cat herding. And like that's something that managers tend to do sometimes. Like you know how like dogs are very like malleable, like they're
Mm-hmm.
obedient, but cats are like very individualistic. They'll do their own thing.
Yeah.
And so like someone called me a cat herder because like the people who I've worked with are just very individualistic. They have
Mm-hmm.
so many things going on. And so it's kind of tough to kind of rally everybody in at the same time and on the same page. And that's really what it was. And that can be very stressful sometimes, man, especially when it's like everybody's kind of moving in a different direction and you need people to kind of like come
Yeah.
back. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
with you.
Because that's what I'm
With you.
dealing with. Because like I have a program where it literally it only works in a team function. Like it only works that way, and it
Yeah.
clearly like it's not working. The program's not working because of that, and it's as simple as, hey, just do your job. Like I can't say in a nicer way. Just you're not doing your job,
Yeah.
and egos are being bruised, and it's like, well, like I always tell people, I'm super chill, so like I don't want to get anybody in trouble or anything, but man, like you're kind of pushing too many buttons that you're only hurting yourself. So,
Yeah.
but it's all a learning process. So,
Hey man, that's adulting 101, right?
yep.
As you move up, you know, the challenges get interesting.
But let's get right into it, man. We're already 17 minutes in. We always our intros are always long for whatever
Yeah.
reason, but I mean we'll get into it, man. Topic of the day is wedding season or wedding slash marriage. And the reason why we did this is, like I was saying earlier, is that we both went to Atlanta for my brother's wedding in August, and we wanted to record this actually right before his wedding. I think he got married August 16th or 17th. It was a Thursday, and I don't know. I just thought it was a good topic to do because like the concept of a wedding and marriage, and it's very much it's convoluted, and it's different people have different takes on it, right? So I guess one, we could just talk about like the wedding, just the experience of the wedding. This is your first wedding since being married, right? So you can
Yeah.
like now you're taking the back seat
Yep.
approach. So I think this is mine too, because unfortunately I miss yours,
Yeah.
and
Hey,
that's
it's
my
all good.
dog.
You were there, man. You were definitely there in spirit. So we don't
So
count that as an absence at all.
so I mean, what do you think about the wedding?
Man, it was such a lovely like afternoon, evening. Like I think the time was around like 4-ish.
Four-ish, yeah, 4-ish to 5 is when it
Yeah.
started. Start
So
cooling down
it
too.
exactly. And like Atlanta at that time, like I don't know what it was, but that was like the perfect window of beautiful weather because like I think right before it was like burning hot and then like right afterwards it went back to hot, but it was like this very beautiful fall-esque vibe
It was fall
that
before the fall.
yeah, and it was in the middle of summer. Beautiful. Ceremony was lovely. Uh Man, the officiant was hilarious.
He was funny, yeah.
He had a lot of charisma. He knew them well. You could tell. Uh, Don had me with the little side tear. You know when he was
Ah,
reading his
yeah.
vows, man. Like it was beautiful. You could see their love. Like you know at all points of this event, this ceremony, reception, the whole nine. It was a great day. I had a great time. Man, seeing your family, your whole family out there, and then like your extended family, low key, like
I haven't seen
it was lit.
I haven't seen them in years, so it was cool seeing everybody again. Yeah, man, it was crazy because it was hot. It's really hot here in South Florida, so it was, of course, this is August. This is like the hottest time. I remember texting Donovan like, "Hey man, like, how's the weather?" And it's like, "Yo, it's really hot." So I remember like the joke. It wasn't even a joke. I was really trying to do this, and no one let me. Pat Mahomes inspired me with an outfit, and I want to go blazer no shirt, and nobody let me. Nobody wanted me to be great. I'm like, yo, like, hey, like, I'm not saying I got a great body, whatever, but I'm like, I can pull it off, right? I can pull off the no
Ain't tricking, right?
right?
That's what they say.
No shirt with a blazer, and I want to do it, and everybody's like, no, no, no. I was like, and then like some people was like, no, because you're gonna stand upstage the groom. I'm like, I'm not upstaging him. Don was wearing a clean ivory tux, right? Custom made. I'm like, there's no way I'm upstaging him. So I said, okay, everyone, I'll compromise. I went tank, low tank, but and I mean, reason for it because the weather's ridiculous. So, but when we got there Thursday morning, I'm like, oh, it's pretty. It wasn't as low. It was already like low 70s, mid 70s. I'm like, there's no way. It's supposed to be really hot. And then when we got there, it was breezy. It was nice. It was an overall. I like weddings that are short and sweet. Like I don't like the super extended. If a ceremony is like an hour, it's like, come on, like I think that's kind of fluffy.
Yeah.
Like really 20 to 30 minutes is really what you I think that's really what you need.
Mm-hmm.
That was nice. It was good seeing my extended family. Bartender was hooking me up. Vows were beautiful. I think what really got to me, and it probably gonna get to me every time, and only those who get married will understand. But when this whole the mother son dance, that gets me every time. Because I'm
that was a tearjerker moment too for them.
Because I remember I was like, when that was me, I'm like, I'm not one to show my emotion or cry anything, and I cried in my wedding. The joke is I didn't cry when Camilla walked down or anything like that. I cried when I danced with my mom. Like it just whatever emotion I had just kind of just came out.
You held it. You held it up, but eventually they're gonna fall, man.
They'll fall, and then like it was the same thing with Don when he did it. He danced with his mom, and then I saw he just looked at her, and they both start bawling, and then you just see me in the back. I was like, I remember that.
Oh man!
So, but it was fun regardless. It was good. It was a good time. It was really good. Yeah. So it was like a long time coming. So like they've been together for a while actually. So I think they were together like a year or two by the time I got married, and I got married in 2019. So this 2023. So it was, it's been a while. So
yeah.
Really
That's
good,
what's up, man.
It was like about time anyway with them. So the lead up was good.
Yep. So hey, to Don, Brittany, shout out, congratulations once again. You had a very beautiful wedding, beautiful ceremony, the whole nine.
I'm ready to be an uncle.
Soon come, man. Soon come. Oh man, Aaliyah needs a playmate and a friend, right? That's how it goes.
She got some, but she could use more. She could use more.
Why not?
But like even though that was a summer wedding, like I don't know, like I kind of equate like end of August like to like for the fall. So like it's funny, like September. Once September 1st is there, but I guess fall is like technically fall started like a week ago. It's September 29th, and then
fall which is crazy. I think the same thing. Like August seems fall to me, but that's like the hottest month of the year.
No, like mid-August. Once it's like mid-August, I'm like, all right, well, like I need like the spooky movies to come out. I need all that stuff.
Yeah, you get ready for Halloween and pumpkin spice season. That's why it's you.
Man, if you go in my fridge right now, it's half pumpkin right now, man. I'm about to bake me some pumpkin cookies.
Oh man. Yeah, basic behind.
I don't care.
That's all right, man. Hey, do you?
But I had a fall wedding actually. Yeah, when I think about it, I had a fall wedding.
Yeah.
But I remember my wedding, it was perfect because It was raining the whole week, and then that Sunday when we got married, it was. I think when we did a ceremony, it was outside around 4 or 5 o'clock. It was in the high 60s.
Yeah,
Right? You got to think about it. High 60s, snow clouds, no breeze or anything. It was
that's
nice
love,
and
man.
chilly in
Oh
November.
yeah.
And we got married on our fun fact. We got married on our 10-year anniversary of us being together. It just like the day lined up perfectly. So I was like, hey,
That's big, man. It's good to have those sentimental days because like
and then the
with me
same
and
day.
my
So
wife, yeah. So you just kind of keep it going, you just roll it over.
yeah.
Uh, we were thinking of days, and we had like an arbitrary February date, and we were just like, we're not really feeling it. But then we thought, like when was the first day we actually met each other? Period.
Mm,
And we were like, why don't we just run with that date? It ended up being like a Friday, a great date to kind of have it. So that was March 24th, and then yeah, so we were able to kind of put some sentimentality behind it. Our very first day we met like
mhm.
2012, so 11 years ago at
Long
that moment.
time.
Yeah, yeah, man. But it's always kind of good to have like those little cheeky moments, in weddings and make them
Nah,
really special. Kind of
I think
add to it.
for us, like we knew for sure we wanted, like, I think it was like mutual, like we want a fall wedding just because we don't like the heat. We're both from South Florida,
Mhm.
and the heat, I don't know if it's, regardless of what you think of global warming or not. I feel like as we've been getting older, it's been getting hotter. Like, to me, this was the hottest summer ever.
Shoot, it was blazing, man.
So, like,
Absolutely
I mean,
blazing.
we had that heat advisory for like almost 2 months straight. Like, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm looking at my phone thinking like the heat is deadly. Like this, my
That's
phone says like
ridiculous.
you could actually pass away going out in this heat. Uh-uh.
So like we always wanted like November, and then like it's funny how like everything worked out. Like I remember we picked the venue like a year and over a year in advance. Like, I want to
Mhm.
say like a year and 6 months in advance. We planned, like, it was like we did our due diligence on this place, and hey, somebody messed up, and we got a great rate actually. Like,
Hey,
we didn't know it at the time. Like, we chose Sunday because it was, that was a 10-year. For people who don't know, if you get married on a Sunday, it's cheaper. Now, this is the fun fact. That weekend was Veterans Day weekend. So that's a holiday weekend, meaning
ooh,
Monday was off. We like normal, a lot of people have Monday off. And because we did it over a year in advance, they didn't know that.
they didn't catch the rate.
They didn't
Ah, they
catch
didn't
that.
change it.
So
Yeah,
we were supposed to pay the holiday rate, which is, it would have been a little bit more expensive.
that surge charge.
They didn't know that. They didn't know that till like the year that we were getting married. And I was like, oh, this was our mistake, and we can't do anything about it because you guys, we all signed a contract. So you guys kind of just lucked out.
I'd have been like, why you even bring it up in the first place? Like you doing
Like,
us a solid or something.
we knew something was up when we caught on to it later, and was like, oh, we're not gonna really. That's
Y'all
not
already
really my
signed.
problem.
Yeah, it is what it is. Boom.
but but it worked out, man. So, and then speaking of wedding season, congrats to Jet, our good friend.
Yeah,
He's
man.
getting married soon. He's the standard in our group. This man is getting married in Costa Rica.
Whew.
Shout out to that man. Like,
That's big time. That's big time. Mr. Jet Set himself.
yeah, him and his lovely bride to be Krista.
Absolutely.
That's fun. That's next year in August. So I've been to Costa Rica. That's
I
actually
have
my favorite
not.
place in the world. That's my favorite place.
Man, I'm looking forward to this one.
Like,
Big
I left
time.
Costa Rica. Like, I left Costa Rica, and it was life changing. Like, they have a saying called "pura vida," which means like live life, whatever.
Oh yeah.
And I knew what it meant because I did all like a lot of adventurous, dangerous things there, because it was like, well, fuck it, right? Like, live life.
Boom.
And like,
Yeah.
I left Costa Rica with a different mindset, and like, I'm gonna get that tattoo on my arm because that's how much that phrase it really means to me. And I always tell myself I'm going back
Impactful
to Costa
stuff.
Rica. Like, if the wedding wasn't in Costa Rica, I would have pushed for the bachelor party to be at Costa Rica.
We getting there some way. Somehow,
We get
some
into
way.
Costa Rica one way or
It
another.
don't matter. Yeah.
And then I do want to, it says thank you to Jet. He has blessed me by choosing me to be his best man.
Yo.
So
Yo.
um it's really cool. He came to my house last week, and Jet, for people who don't know him, he got like a really good job, and he worked for like emergency management, and they deployed him to like Alaska, so he was gone for like a year.
Mm-hmm.
So none of us have really seen him in about a year except Josh. Josh saw him for Josh's wedding, but he's been like gone. So this is the first time I seen him in a year, and we were just kind of catching up. And he was like, "Oh, I gotta go get something." And then I see a box. I'm like, "Oh, what's it? What's the box?" I open it, and like it was a jersey, a soccer jersey, and I know Jet loved his soccer jerseys. I'm like, "Oh, I'm like, this is a nice jersey." I'm like, and I see CR. I'm like, "Oh, it's like, is it so Costa Rica got a team? That's what's up." And he's like, "Flip it." And I flipped it, and it says "Best Man" on it, and I was like, "Yo,
that's intense, man."
So,
hey, well, I already know it's going to be a movie. That means that means you're planning the shindig beforehand. So
going somewhere. I gotta be mindful of the place, though. Unfortunately, like I would love to go somewhere like very extravagant, but one, I'm always gonna be mindful on people's income, but then two, if he ideally wants his bachelor party to be in February, March, his wedding's in August, right?
Yeah.
Funding is an issue for for most of us. Like that's gonna be like, man, that's a big trips, right? Like,
oh heck yeah, inflation's something else. And shoot, it's like it's kind of wedding season for everybody in like our circles too. So like,
yeah,
there's no telling. Like I already know there's a wedding in like April that I gotta hit, and that's in Aruba. And so I'm like,
you see,
yeah, I'm like, man, the budget's budgeting right now. Like, we are strict, but we're making it all happen. Man, it's whew.
That's why you got to grind this year for next year. That's what I've been doing actually. Like I'm doing like some side things here and there, and I'm like, I'm gonna make sure that when next year comes, like the money's there. Like it's just just
for sure.
Take it off
for sure.
And I already know, like within our inner circle, like I'm preparing that someone's gonna pop the question to to their significant other. I know.
I'm saying, man, like
most people in our group, it's like time is coming up for them.
Yep, tick, 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 tick. I already know, man. And I'm like, all right, let me just have an emergency stash for that one.
So it's either someone's popping the question or someone's having a kid. Something is happening in the group, right? Like,
yeah. I have my wagers, so I'm planning in advance.
Oh, I got you. I'll put a pool in. Like, yo, who's next?
Oh man. But yeah, wedding season is kind of among us as a group. But I mean, we've had some conversations about what's up.
I mean, we're hitting that age, right? We're in our early 30s, so it's like
exactly.
And then most of us have been with our significant others for either since college or a little bit after college, right? So it's like,
it's about that time for the majority of us, man.
Like you said, you met Maisha in college, but you started, I think, like maybe a year after we all graduated.
Yeah, about 2 years after. I think I was like a year into my master's then in Miami. So
I met Camilla. We we dated in college freshman year. Then you have Jet, who actually him and his fiance known each other since like high school. Like we all knew each other.
School or high school.
We all knew each other like around 15 years old, and then like
way back.
But I think they got together maybe like 5 years ago. But like they known each other half their lives already.
Yeah,
Donovan, who's been with his wife now for like over 5 years. You got other friends that are in the same boat.
But it goes to show you, like, all these relationships are still like very long standing, even when you get to that point. Like, you haven't mentioned anybody who hasn't like known the person for at least 5 years. Like, it really takes that to like really know the true essence of somebody sometimes, and like to grow with somebody as well.
And that's why the thing that bothers me is when like, and this was something like in my old job when I first started working, like, I'm a social worker, and then like, it's when I first started working, it's very much predominantly females, and then now it's kind of like changing a lot. Well, especially I guess in my role, because I've progressed so high that like in like management and all that stuff, that there's definitely a split. It's not as like predominantly females. But I remember when I started working at this one hospital, and okay, I mean, there's a few female coworkers. I'm gonna just sit with them for lunch,
Yeah.
And I remember they were like, this one girl was complaining. She's like, I've been with him for a year. When is he gonna pop the question? I was like, a year? I was like, whoa, like, and
Sheesh.
she's probably at the time not that much older than me. I was probably like 26. So I'm thinking maybe she's 30. Like I understand females, they have this internal clock, right? Where it's like we got it, if you want to do it what they quote unquote the right way, you want to get married first before having kids and all that. But I was like, yo, a year? Like there's no way. Like and that's why you have the whole thing with divorce rate so high, because then you don't know someone in a year.
Nah,
Like
you really don't. I mean, you may think you know them from like an energy standpoint, like they may feel like soulmate to you, but you still have to like there's still a lot that goes into like getting to know somebody every day. And I mean, I'm still getting to know my wife too, right? Like that doesn't really end either. Like you still
yeah.
grow as a person, you still have different things that kind of, manifest themselves, but at the end of the day, like there's a difference between like you have good chemistry and then like that connection that grows over time.
Yeah, like all that was blowing me, man. And then they were egging her on. I think they were with their significant other like 2 years or all that, or they were saying, yeah, I'm waiting too, and it's like I'm just like, oh my god. I mean, again, it's like maybe it's just a difference in gender, or like I don't know, like because in my mind I'm like, okay, if I would have like I couldn't have married Camilla in a year. Like like when I was 18 when I met her, and I probably had all this puppy love. It's like, yeah, we're gonna get married, but it's like I didn't know her within being a year. Like I don't know if people probably gonna say like I waited too long, but like 10 years. I was with her for 10 years before I got married, and I feel
Well,
like it worked out. At least for me, for my journey, we did 4 years of college, right?
mhm.
And then we're still like we graduated at 21. I'm still a kid. And then I took like a year off, then went back to get my master's. So I know my whole thing was like, yo, like we have a lot going on, like a lot of growth just among us as people and relationship. But like when I think of like marriage, I guess I might as well just change this, like what marriage means to us. The topic is like I need to have like my shit together
Yeah.
before I even like legally signed this paper to say we're gonna share our life together, because I'm like I don't have my like financial straight. I'm still living with my parents. Like why am I gonna get married with you and then we're gonna not live the life we wanted? So like everyone was like joking with me, when you gonna do it? I'm like, I'm not ready. Like, what do you mean you're not ready? You've been together for 5-6 years. I'm like, well, I'm still in school. Like I don't even
I
have a
was just
job
about to
yet.
ask, like, when were you starting to feel that pressure, like hear that from like family or family's family and all that good stuff? So you said
Yeah,
about 5, 6 in,
everybody get like, yeah, like
right
after
after college.
after undergrad. Like I'm like, man, like I don't got my stuff together. Like, and it was just like, like I'm following my timeline, and then but then you see it on TV and like a relationship now, like, oh, after a year or two you get married, and then like I'm just like totally against it, because I don't think you truly know someone, especially you don't like you need to live with them regardless, like of like how people feel religious, like like their religion is about, like how that kind of dictates their life. Like like for people who just like you need to live with them, and then you need to know them in an intimacy level and a sexual level, because like I respect those who just wait, save themselves to marriage, but like like imagine if you just not sexually compatible, like that's that's
That's some
something, right?
heartbreaking
Like
stuff. That'd be a heartbreaker, man.
because then you sign something, you're gonna be together forever, and there's
For life.
repercussions if you get a divorce. So it's like, nah, I'm just stuck with this, and now I gotta like kind of compromise with something like maybe it's important to you, not important to that person, but you need to learn all that before.
Hmm.
So like people can rush me. I didn't feel the rush. It was always one of those things where I was like, man, I'm not ready, because I know I'm financially and just where I am in my life, I knew I wasn't ready. I knew emotionally, I was like, she's the one. She's the one I'm going to marry. But I need to get myself together. And it wasn't until like, like probably year 7, year 8. I think year 8 is when I popped the question. And then people need to mind their own business because they always had like things to say, but we was engaged for 2 years. Like we enjoyed the engagement process. It was like, you technically don't have this again.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to have, like, you're not supposed to get divorced and remarried and all this. Like, so it was like, okay, we're never gonna be engaged again. Let's kind of live this. You're never gonna be my fiance again. You're never gonna. So, but that's just me. I mean, it's just funny. It's just funny. Like but I guess it's more of a societal thing, right? Like you're pushing marriage. So then like it's, and it could be for like a socioeconomical reason and all that, or like advertising dollars. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, it's like the message of marriage it's not what it's supposed to be.
Interesting point. I mean, I think I see like and like I try to kind of minimize like the rite of passage part of it, because like, I mean, to your point about like pressure from like whether it's family or friends or like, wife's family now or wife's friends and whatnot, like they don't know you that well either. They may think they do, right? It's kind of just hearsay in conversations. But to your point, like, I had my own goals, timeline that like I had in order, and like in the back of my mind, as far as like, when would be that time to, that's where the intention is going to be. Now, I'll also say like from the time that we started dating, that like I knew that Maisha was the one, right? And so then it was just like, like intention is always going to be towards that, but to actually do like the ceremony, the reception, and like all of that, like that was going to take time, because I was in school at the time. She went back to school, and so we had a lot of different things like in a 5-year period that kind of, that we wanted to kind of knock out as individuals, and then together too. Like we were long distance for the first 2 years. Yeah. So I mean, there was a lot there, and we still, we still found a way to kind of get, stay together, more connected each and every day, support each other through that too. But yeah, like marriage, I feel like is just one milestone in that big relationship, continuum, if you will, like that kind of declaration that, we're in it to win it, that this is us. And, like we take our opinions, our, our family structure above all else. Like that's kind of what it really means to me, is because at the end of the day, like, they say you become one, right? And then from there, it's like, you share equal parts, like each other's kind of, whether it's struggles or whether it's successes, like all of that becomes like a joined kind of endeavor together through life. And it's, it's great. 6 months in, I can say that,
you've been in the game for a bit. You're almost, once you hit that year status, you're a veteran. Like,
I'll take that. Yeah, I'm definitely still rookie, but I'm past training camp.
Oh yeah, you made the team.
yeah, I'm on the 53, right? Exactly.
So I mean, I was gonna ask you what marriage means to you. So you just kind of went straight with this. So I guess I'll go with it. Like when I think of marriage, it's, again, like I was saying earlier, it's multifaceted, because like technically, like the concept of marriage is like is on a religious aspect. It's the union of man and wife. That's always what it's going to be. And that's like the whole thing of marriage, stems from religion, stems from the Bible. So for me, like when I understand, like, for you, like you made an interesting point, like it's a milestone, right? That's the milestone for a relationship. So for, people might see it like that, and it's like, okay, well, it is the milestone, and it's based on the Bible. This is what I'm supposed to be doing and such. And even now, like I think that's what society kind of does, is like, even if you're not religious or anything like that, you're supposed to get married. And for the longest time, and it hasn't fully left my mind. Like marriage is, to me, kind of like I went straight into it, like it's a piece of paper. I grew up around failed marriages. So so I always questioned it. Still, I mean, I question. I don't question my marriage or anything like that, but I question the concept of what marriage is supposed to be. Um, because again, it's supposed to be a religious thing. So when did it not become a religious thing? Because
Mm,
because like what's really like the difference between like a marriage and like a union? It's kind of like the same thing.
I get you.
But
And
like for
I
me,
mean,
but
I'll kind of push on the religious part because I think it's like there is definitely, a biblical aspect to marriage, but then
mhm,
there's, like a Hindu aspect of marriage, right? Where like
yeah,
it can be arranged and stuff like that. Like, so I mean, there's different cultures, there's different religions that kind of have their way of kind of going about it. So I wouldn't just pigeonhole it into like just one way that marriage is, because it's like
no,
it's different kind of globally, right?
yeah, that's why I was like, it's different. Like, I guess it depends where you're coming from, and that's how you're gonna really
Yeah,
think about it. And so for me, I always thought like it is a piece of paper. Like it really, like, and it's to this, like even to now, it still is. Um, but for me, it's like kind of with you, where, um, if anything, my wife wanted to get married more, right? She was pushing it because she's way more religious than I am. So it's a
mhm,
she takes that on the religious aspect. Like that's what she wants to take the relationship to the next level. She wants to say we're gonna be together forever.
yeah,
Say in front of God and our family. And I understood it, and I understand it, and I respect it. That's why I went with it. I grew up in a religious household. My grandma was super religious. I kind of stemmed away, where I'm more like if anything, I'm more interested in the aspect of religion than following one particular religion.
I got you. I'm with you.
Like
Yeah.
there's this show, and then they canceled it. It was called like The Story of God, and it was like on the History Channel, and Morgan Freeman, actually, it was his show, and he would every episode was learning about a different religion. Like, oh, the
Mm,
topic is gonna be this topic, and we're gonna understand how this one particular topic is seen in the views of different religion and their versions of God, whatever. So I'm always like, that's how I see religion. I just like raised in a Catholic household, but you know, I like different aspects of different religion. So, but for her, she's a Christian. This is what she wanted. I respected. I was okay with it. Like for me, if getting married didn't enhance my relationship with her, and I think that was something like an argument we had in our group chat, where if you
mm,
had a shitty relationship prior to getting married, you're gonna have that shitty relationship. You're supposed to have this bond. Like it's like, and that's why you do premarital counseling. Like you iron everything
yeah.
out. Like whatever. Like the thing is, if you want to help your marriage, you can have a kid. Like yeah, you have a kid, and it's gonna give you temporary happiness, but whatever underlying issue you had, you're still gonna have.
I don't
So,
believe that one bit.
but that's what people say, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I don't even buy it. I don't get the logic behind it either. Because I mean, to your point, like it amplifies whatever you have going on, right? And
yeah.
so if whatever you have is shaky at best, then you'll have a shaky
So
marriage. You'll have a shaky, you know, you'll have a shaky parenting dynamic.
yeah,
Like it, you kind of have to have like a stable foundation of some solid footing before
yeah.
you
That
do some
agree.
of those things.
That's why
That's why I was patient with it.
exactly. And I learned like if we would have got married earlier, and it who knows if we would have lasted. Like we don't know. Like there was so many things, so many issues, underlying issues that we had to solve with each other, grow, and understand each other. We didn't even understand each other until like when we went to premarital counseling. We learned even more
It's like
stuff.
that.
So like to me, I don't think like like us getting married enhanced anything. If like we never got married, I think or like if everything was still the same, we did the premarital, we did everything right. We went to therapy and did all this stuff. I
Mhm.
don't think not being married would have changed. Like I still think we have the same strong relationship. But but then at the same time, it does feel good, like to say, hey, like that's my wife, but that's a status thing. But like for me, like when I think of marriage, to me, it's more like legal. Like I think of it as a legal aspect. because working from the hospital setting, like I see what happens when you don't have your ducks in a row. Like if me and
Oh,
Camilla are
like
not married,
wills or like, yeah.
so here in Florida and pretty much most states, like you have like the whole next of kin law. So like if I were to die, and me and Camilla never married, um, she doesn't get anything from me. And if I don't have a will or anything, like they will go to my next of kin. It's not her because legally we're not married. It will go to my parents or anything like that. Or like if I'm unable to make medical decisions, um, she. Oh man, I think my headphones died.
Oh, I still got you.
Hold up. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Interesting. I can't hear you.
Oh, technical difficulties.
Live.
Oh, now I can't hear you. Now you're gone.
Okay, I can hear you.
All right. Yeah, you're back.
Is my quality okay?
Yeah. You're still good.
I guess I'm not using a mic. I use the iPad. But like I was saying, so like if we're not married and I'm able to make medical decisions, she can't make decisions for me. It would have to be my next of kin. It would be my parents or whatever. So like that really put things in perspective because I trust her with my life. Like I trust her like
Oh
physically,
man.
anything like meant like anything with my health. Like that's like she's the one I trust with everything. So if since we're married, if God forbid anything happens to me, at least I know that part is taken care of, right? It's like, okay, well, she can do whatever to try to save my life or anything that I own will go to her. And then like you don't really think about that until like the situation happens. And I saw it all the time. And I saw it where it's like, oh no, we've been together for 10 years, but we're not married. So and it was always a thing where I understand, but like my hands are tied.
Big.
Where if you're with this person for 10 years, you're not married, and you know him better than his mom, and if you know his wishes are, this is just an example. His wishes are he doesn't want everyone to be on life support, right? He doesn't want to be he doesn't want to suffer. You know that.
Yeah.
But his mom may say do whatever you can, right? So it's like you're kind of going against his wishes for selfish reasons.
Yeah. Kind of projecting your own opinion as opposed to.
You're muted.
Oh, really? I'm not muted on anything I've got.
Oh man. What is going on?
We got to work on some kinks again. Our apologies for the technical difficulties, but we are bringing it back. We'll be back in a moment.
Take a moment real quick.
We have a little bit of a disconnect on our end, but at the time, once again, this is genuine content. Follow us on Instagram at genuine_content spelled with a K. Genuine Content Podcast on Facebook. Like, subscribe. We're on Apple, Google Play, YouTube. You know it.
You canceling us, Josh?
Nah. I was just taking the time to say, where we at on social. Follow us, give us a like and all that good stuff, man. I had to plug it while we had a quick commercial break.
You're right, man. I hope all. You heard everything I was saying, though, right?
I had you for a little bit. What we were at was you were talking about kind of the legalities of like making like power of attorney decisions and like health decisions and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay, so that was everything. So yeah, so like just something like that where you don't even know his wishes, and it's like that's the girlfriend knows that, not you.
Yeah.
But legally not married. So like I saw it like that, and it was like, man, that's you gotta get your ducks in a row because they, a lot of people, and it's based on laws and stuff. Like marriage is, it's embedded in like all this lawful decisions. So
yeah.
So I looked at it like just in the long run and all that. So like again, that's where I go back to the beginning where like marriage is so multifaceted. Where you look at it from the spiritual side, the legality, or just like you said, the next step of a relationship. There's just so many different things. but marriage is very serious. Like, so the seriousness of marriage is what I don't think is being, taken these days. Because if not, or if it was, then we wouldn't have so many divorces as at an alarming rate.
Yeah, it's I mean, I think you brought up a point that people don't necessarily think of often when it comes to marriage, and that's that um the extent to what you trust your spouse with, right? Like life decisions or like your entire life's work essentially. Whatever it is, whether it's income, other type of assets, you know what I mean? Like that trust, like when you are in a bind, like who is going to be that emergency contact? Like even that little form, like obviously you can put whoever and fulano on it, but
Mm-hmm.
really at the end of the day, that's generally speaking your spouse, right? And so while it's there's a legal document to it, and there's that sheet of paper, that certificate,
Yeah.
there's a lot behind it
Yeah.
that really is like, all right, look, if anything goes down, like,
It's hurt. It's him.
yeah, that's the person, you know what I mean? Like I've given, my life and everything that I have, with the purpose of sharing it with this person. And so like there's a lot to it that just kind of goes beyond that sheet of paper, if you will. Now, I do think it's been, kind of commercialized and capitalized off of.
It's
Like
capitalized.
weddings are
That's the best
ridiculous.
word to say.
Like, man, like the whole honestly, we talk about this too. Like, if it wasn't for like our folks, I'll keep it a bean. I know my Bob listens, I love you. But we would have eloped. If I wasn't an only child, we probably would have eloped. Like,
So
that's just it.
so it's funny. So the thing, like I think about it now. Like honestly, I don't know how much you paid for your wedding, but like how much for what we paid for, it was a steal. And the economy back in 2019 compared to now, but like it was still a little expensive. Like it was like we didn't have any financial help, so it was me and her. The tradition, the wife family's supposed to pay for that. Nah, she ain't come from that kind of rich background. We paid for it ourselves. Like we worked overtime a lot to make sure that when we went to the wedding, it was paid off. So, and then like, yeah, the wedding, maybe, I mean, this is just me. Like my wedding was a blur, right? We had so much fun. It just like, boom, ceremony, boom, you got to take your pictures, boom, you do your reception, first dance, other dance, blah, blah, cake. The night's over. Like it's a fast 4 to 5 hours. And yeah, like it was fun, but it didn't, happy we did it, with you guys, my friends and family. But then we think back on it, it's like, man, I spent like thousands of dollars on this, right? Like what could I have done with that? Like honestly, the thing I was looking forward to the most was the honeymoon. I was like, yeah, the ceremony's cool and all. We had a 3-week honeymoon. I'm trying to do that. Like
I still got that on deck. Like I'm 6 months in, I still have mine on deck, which is gonna be nice.
And we were blessed that we hadn't we received enough from our gifts that it was paid for. So we were lucky. So, but imagine if we didn't have that. Like I would have been like, well, I would have taken the wedding money. I would have eloped and just use that money. Or imagine if you or you can use that as a down payment for a house or whatever. It's
and in today's economy, that thing can stretch a little bit. Now you kind of need that little cushion for anything. Like, and really, you just paid for a party, right?
Yeah,
like
it was
you paid for a party. It's a great party.
Yeah, fun, right?
Dope.
And I know for like me and Camilla, we're trying to like learn different business stuff and be business savvy. I know like me and Josh, we have our own side business that we're trying to grow. But like the joke that me and Camilla have is like, we're in the wrong business. We need to invest in a wedding company because those are the real thieves.
Absolutely, man. Like you hear like, I mean, of course, like you see like budgets from your own weddings, right? But then like you see all these production companies that extend just off of weddings, like photography companies that have their clientele basically for weddings, engagement photos, videography the day of, flowers, all this stuff for weddings. Weddings is big business.
Commercialized. Like I
Yeah.
knew it was super commercialized, and like again, this is the same group of girls at work, right? She was my coworker. Like I worked with her a lot, and she was getting married when I think she was probably gonna get married like maybe like 6 months after I started, and she comes from money, so or at least her dad is very wealthy, right?
Well
And
off.
I remember this, and I couldn't believe it. And it maybe it's just different upbringings, right? I think the dad told her, "You got two options. I'll give you 30 grand, or I'll pay for your wedding."
She went wedding, didn't she?
She went with a wedding. That was
Yeah,
40
she
grand.
went
That was
wedding.
40 grand.
I mean, technically, she got the value. Technically, she got the value out of it.
Man, you know what I would have done? I would have took the money, right? Use 5,000 for for the wedding, and then I would have used the rest for the honeymoon, for a down payment on a house. Like, you're giving me $30,000.
I think the rest of it was probably covered for at some point. I'd imagine.
But I'm just saying, like, but that's how commercialized it is. That like they're gonna, and I've seen the pictures. Beautiful wedding that they had is just. It's a robbery if you're paying like $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 for a wedding, right? For a party.
Shoot, with the inflation too, man. Like,
and
prices are going up.
This was 2016.
Yeah, see,
and it cost that much. That equivalent wedding, God knows, 60, 70, 80 at this point.
Yeah, it'd probably be at least a good 55, 60 bands, I'd say. But I mean, to each their own, right? Like it's a beautiful day. At every step, it's a beautiful day. And like, if I got eloped, like I wouldn't have the moments with, the guys. And obviously, like you were there in spirit.
Well, like, you was there for my wedding. So I mean, you was one of my groomsmen. So it was really like cool to like, hey, we woke up and hey, let's have breakfast. Like, okay, I don't get married till 4:00. We gotta get there at 2. And I think the night before, the day before, we just grilled. We grilled and watched football. It was very chill. And then like we woke up Sunday, breakfast, vibe. We went there to change in the tux, drinking, music. It was again. It's
big energy.
It's very fun. Yeah, it's fun. It's a blur. It's a blur.
Yeah,
when you think about it, but it's really fun. It's a good experience. That, like, I guess whatever. I got my money's worth. Because it was fun.
Oh yeah. You gonna make it. You gonna get every inch of that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like it brings your people together, right? And like I think the one thing that like I've noticed.
You did.
I did. I did. I was like, hey, you go cash out on this thing, man. If you spend it, bro, you gotta get it in. But there's one point that like I've heard that I do think makes sense, and that's like how many times are you going to get all these people from both sides of the family together, right?
Yeah,
like I think that's really what it's all about, right? The people who have kind of helped you get there, or who were a part of your journey. Because I mean, our wedding was relatively small. It was only people that like we both knew like intimately,
how much
from both sides.
How much people did you have?
About 75.
That's about what we had.
Yeah,
less than 100 for sure. That's what we had the same thing. Rule of thumb for anyone getting married. This was someone told me, and I cut a lot of people when this advice was given to me. If you didn't talk to them in a year, they're not coming to the wedding.
That's sage advice for sure.
Someone told me that, and I was like, okay. And I cut people. Then with Camilla, she was like, no, what about this? No, you just met that person a year ago. No, like I was like, I'm like, we had to. I was the no guy. Like, somebody has to be the no guy, right?
What's funny is my wife was the no person. And I was like I got a ton of family, bro. Like,
when I was talking to Jet and Kristen last week, she was telling me just the no guy. Everybody like, oh, I have a wedding advice or wedding input. They're like, go ask Jet, but they don't want to ask Jet because they already know he gonna say no.
No, like I was the one stretching. I was like, can we do this? Can we make this go? Like, they want to bring a plus, you know what I'm saying? But then she put me on and I was like, oh shoot, that's where we're at numbers wise. Yeah, we got to make some scratch.
When you're paying for your own wedding, man, ain't no But I told everybody my wedding, no +1. If your name's not on that invitation, don't even think about it. Don't even ask me.
Yeah.
Like, but it's funny. Our weddings, like both our weddings, small, right? I guess Jet hasn't told y'all, man. They got 300,
I'm not surprised one bit.
but it's different.
But it's a destination though.
Exactly. I
So
want to do a destination wedding, but I got too many pushback on that.
I'm trying to figure out how you're gonna have a destination with 300.
Well,
I feel like it's an automatic weed out. Destination weddings are always weed outs.
That's what I wanted to do.
You want to see who's really with us, who our day was.
Hey, look, this is my way of thinking. If I tell you a year and a half in advance, my wedding is gonna be this. It's gonna cost you. If I'm using Jet's wedding for example, it's gonna cost you $1,000, right?
Yeah.
Not even per person. Like for example, like my room, it's 3 of us in a room. I think with the package is like $700 per person, right? So or $500, $600, $700 per person plus your flight. That may be $800 to $900, right?
Yeah.
You can't if you. And
it is what it is.
Yeah. Unless I know your financial situation is not great, which at this point you will know who has a good one, who doesn't. But man, if you can't save up for a year in advance for something like that's very important to me, yeah,
Yeah, I feel you, man. Like
you can always save. You can always save and budget.
Yeah, it's a matter of how much does it mean to you to make it there and be part of it. But we were thinking the same thing. We were thinking destination up front too. But when it came to my folks, my family, like, my family has a lot of like health issues kind of behind it. And so like, I think in 2021, I think it was 2021, the year after. Yeah. So my dad was diagnosed with multiple myeloma. And so now he's on dialysis. And so he wouldn't be able to make that flight. Like he wouldn't be able to stay in Jamaica because like he has to have his dialysis treatments and stuff like that. And so I have a lot of like high risk family when it comes to travel, a lot of elderly people too. And so it just didn't seem very, very logistically sound. I could do it, but then it would just be like, it'd be like basically like Champagne Jam, which kind of what open bars kind of tend to be, right? But like it would just be like very young and not with the people who like brought me up.
Open bar is a must, man. Open bar.
That is a one thing you have to have. Like if you can't run that, just get eloped.
I went to one of my cousin's wedding. This is when I was a little younger. I think probably like right after graduating. Man, they had a cash bar. I ain't had no money. I just graduated from college, and I was like, "Yo, cash bar." Nah.
They were young too?
No. If I was 21, 22, he was 30.
Oh, that's disrespectful. That's disrespectful.
And I think the family was, they helped financially, so.
Oh, what?
Yeah, nah. I know me.
Come on.
I didn't. So for like our wedding, I didn't have. Like it's like, hey, come on, whatever you want, right? You want my input, I'll give you my input, but it's kind of what you want. Like, the wedding's more for the, for the females. Like it's their day, right? It's not really the groom's day.
Right.
I was like, look, man, I just got one request, and we gonna make it work, but we need that open bar. That's all I want. Only request.
I'll admit that was my number one priority, but man, I still push back on it. Like the more I think about it, is it the wife's day primarily? Absolutely. I give it 80-20 wife's day, but that 20, I'm maximizing that damn 20.
That's when it's an open bar.
Yeah, I hella flex on my 20. Like I had a great day, man. Like it was like it's still obviously because I haven't had that next step of having a child. That's still the best day of my life. And if it was 20% and she got 80 of that, oh, I know she had a blast.
Because I'm thinking the decisions I made, like I guess out of my 20% was open bar. We had I helped with the food a bit, but we had buffet style. So it was like, okay, you kind of list what food you want on that. The DJ, what songs we wanted. And
the mix for sure.
And then she chose the color, but I chose the tux. Like my tux color is actually not the wedding color, but I want to be different.
Yeah,
Like
same. I
you
didn't do
had
that.
like in my wedding, you had the wedding colors on the kind of the teal a little bit with gray.
Yeah.
That was the wedding color. But if anyone see my wedding pictures, I'm wearing a royal blue blazer, black slacks. Like I was not rocking the wedding color. I'm like I'm the groom. I'm standing out one way or another.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
be
Which I
different.
mean is for the most part, I think a lot of people do that nowadays instead of like just going with the standard colors.
Yeah.
I mean, I get the entire bridal party. I guess you call everybody like bridal party. They were in the color scheme,
Yeah.
which I think was gray and like light pink, springtime vibes. Um, but yeah, I was damn near like white black, like
You went James Bond.
pretty much. Yeah, I went double O because I had the white jacket with the black underneath, like so black pants, white jacket,
I think
little red blackish bow tie type of situation. It was
yeah.
textured.
I think even y'all had regular ties. I was like, yo, I'm gonna wear the white bow tie. Like I had a white shirt, but with the white bow tie. It
Oh,
looks
I did the bow tie, but everybody else had
y'all rock the regular.
yeah. But it's funny because you didn't you I don't think you met John. John was like my high school
Your high
friend.
school one, yeah. That's the one I
Yeah,
did. I heard he's wild.
his son was the ring bearer, and he had my suit. And that joint was hilarious. So like we're like matching with the same like get up and everything. So he has what I've got on, and then everybody else kind of had like the rest of the color scheme. But it
Yeah.
was cool. It was such a blast, man.
So I will say though for everyone, because I actually just looked at the time right now. So this actually is planned. This is actually a two-parter, which we didn't want to say until the end of the show, which we're already
Yeah,
at an hour
we
11.
kept it a little fluffy for this one, but part
Yeah.
two is gonna be a little different.
So this was the more happier side of it, but we have a part two to this, and I don't know if I should even say what the topic is, or I can
I think we can
sprinkle a
tease
little
it a
bit
little
of it.
bit. Yeah, tease a little bit.
So
We
this
just
is
won't have the
actually
takes yet.
no takes on this, but this is something I saw in a video, and I was like, interesting. I always kept it to myself, and something I don't even know how the discussion happened. I don't even know. Like it was in the group chat, and the group when I said the group chat absolutely erupted when I with this. Like so, I don't know how to
What'd you
start it.
expect?
All I said was, I said, man, a marriage benefits the female way more than it benefits the male, and that's all I said. And it just that was a full day discussion. Like I didn't work that day, and good thing I didn't because out of my work.
I think so. I mean, I don't think there was that much like controversy with that statement. I think what happened was like as it progressed, then everybody was like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 hold on."
It was funny, but like it was all good fun. Not even arguing, just good fun discussion. It was fun. It was funny because like it was like we was trying to be serious, but then it was like every now and then like someone slipped a joke in it. Like
yeah, just to kind of derail the whole thing.
And it was like,
oh, come on, man. Like,
and it was like it's a funny joke, but that does make sense. And it was like,
yep.
It was hilarious. That was funny. So like, yeah, there was always a part two to it. Like this originally was never going to be a part two. It was always going to be just wedding season, what we thought about marriage, and then that happened, and it's like, oh, we didn't record the wedding episode yet, so we just, we was going to combine it. We was going to combine it all into one episode, and it was like,
no, we know how we do it, time.
Yeah, this is gonna be a 2-hour episode, which we can't be doing.
No way. So yeah, stay tuned for that.
So
we coming with it.
13, episode 14 will be that. That's gonna be, that's gonna be fun. We're definitely gonna do better. I know I had people like, hey man, what's the recording? What's going on? So I know we said it last time, but like no, I think now we're getting a better grip because like now with my job, I'm getting better grip of it. Josh, you said you started a new position, so like I know you were super duper stressful. Like you went ghost on us, like in the group you probably peek into the group chat and then like
man, I'm telling you, like I hit a point where I was like, look, I've got to rein it in and just like take care of me first. Like I hit a wall where I was like, I got to be so intentional about my next step and like where I want to move, like my career, my profession, and like I'm just the type of person who likes to grow, like no matter where I'm at, no matter what venture I had. And like when I was like, I felt like I was regressing as a person.
Mm-hmm.
And that just did not work for me. Like I was like, all right, the hell with this. Like I'm moving on. And I had to be like laser focused on that. And now that I'm on it, like, you know, we back. But yeah, I appreciate all the support on that tip, and my bad for like being a little bit of a shadow of myself for every, you know, on the group a little bit.
It's gonna be good. We're gonna be back, man. We're gonna come back to our bi-weeklies, and we got, you know, this episode's coming 13, 14. We're actually gonna record soon, and then actually I just thought of this right now because I have it to my TV going in the background. I guess if we'll get everyone's input, I would love to do an episode just to kind of discuss the whole Shannon Sharp Ocho Cinco a little bit, the whole Shannon Sharp dynamic.
You know, I haven't seen those episodes, man. I kind of catch them a little bit through y'all, but like, I haven't seen the full joint.
I love Shannon Sharp. The best thing that happened to him was leaving Fox.
Almost definitely. So I wish he could have done his own thing aside from just going to ESPN, man. That's just me.
So I have the whole ESPN thing's that his whole club Shay's where is that, and I'm looking right now because I have his episode running. It's his newest episode with him and Brittany Reiner. So,
we've had that talk.
We can do that talk. We can have that talk in the future.
Might as well. Let's stack them.
Hers about body count, which I didn't think was that insane, which I was surprised knowing who she is, but whatever.
I think it's cap, but I ain't gonna.
Yeah, that too, but I would like to do an episode about maybe when you watch a couple episodes, they're gold. Like I think Shannon Sharp is like on the gold standard right now for podcasting. So
okay,
I would love to.
There's some growth in it for me. I will definitely tune in, see what he got going on.
So.
I mean, he's got the aura though. Like that's like cool, casual. Like
he's Shannon Sharp. Like that.
Yeah, it just speaks sharp. Like that's just the style. Like it's all cool. Like Club Shay is just cool.
I don't know that he really embraced the unk. Like if you say unk, you know.
Yeah, you got like a cigar in the bag or a cigar room behind you. You want a couch. Like
got his own.
You got the drink. Yeah,
which is fantastic, by the way. Got a bottle.
I have not had the Shay.
Oh, don't worry. When you come down, I only drink it for special occasions. So I was like, I still have plenty. There's plenty in there.
All right, you know, patience is virtue. I'll get on it one day. We'll see. But well, hey, you know, this is an episode back. Gonna get the rust off a little bit. We appreciate everybody who listens and has been with us throughout this journey. You know, we're gonna get back to being more consistent with it for sure. Once again, genuine_content. That's our handle for all of our social media stuff. Genuine Content Podcast on Facebook. You can catch us at any streaming platform, YouTube included, for the video flow. But, you know, this is Jay and Josh once again, man. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for tuning in. Jay, you got anything for the people?
And I guess stay tuned for these episodes, man. We got some spicy ones, man. Like, now that I'm thinking about it, just like the next one's going to be spicy. I know. I mean, we both know where each other stands, so.
Yeah.
That was going to be a good one.
It's going to get a little heated. I mean, this might be like one of our first takey type of episodes.
Yeah,
like where it's gonna be debate heavy, but I'm curious to see what the audience has on it too. So this is one where we got to put the audience in deck, you know, on it.
It was funny. Like we had that big discussion in the group, and then I think right after that text you, I'm like, yo, that's like that's episode worthy. Like
that's a pod. We gonna pod. Get ready.
Well, yeah, I'm ready to be back on the grind, and we'll finish off season 2. You know, we got plenty of episodes. We'll finish off season 2.
Yep.
And then all this is learned is our whole learning curve. So season 3, when that time comes, we'll be definitely stronger. So we'll be good.
All right, everybody. Well, this is Genuine Content with Jay and Josh. Hey, peace out.
Peace.
Just get the fuck out my face.